Hello, friends. Welcome to Crochetmas Day 9. I cannot believe we are almost finished with Crochetmas 2024. Tomorrow is our very last day, but today we are making a Crochetmas exclusive, meaning this pattern is not available anywhere on my blog or in my shop. And we kind of came up with it here together when we were doing, I think it was day 1. Yes, when we made our Crafty Boho Santa hats, we kind of got inspired for this design. And that was taking the Crafty Boho Santa hat pattern and kind of modifying it a little bit to make a Christmas tree out of the same basic concept of the hat. This one looks a little wonky because I made it very quickly and I wasn't being super intentional with my increases, but we will make sure to be very intentional this time around, making sure they don't line up next to each other and I don't miss putting them in certain spots at all. So I will be using my stitch markers. But these are so fun. You can use any yarn and hook combo that you want. I feel like these would do as well as crocheted pumpkins would do in the fall. You can make different sizes, like tallness, but you can also make them very, very small by using smaller yarn. So the options are endless. You can easily change this pattern to make it skinnier or fatter. It is very customizable, and I will try to talk through some tips with you guys while we are live tonight. Another thing that I love about this pattern is you can accessorize your Christmas trees with store-bought things that are not crocheted. I love mixing crocheted and not crocheted. I love it when other people do it too, especially with like dolls and stuff. I think it is so super cute. So the fact that we can use not crocheted things to accessorize our Christmas trees makes me love them even more. If you are on the Crochetmas VIP list, then this morning you would have received an email. That email explained that originally on this day, we were going to be making the crocheted Addie Bear. This is a pattern on my blog and in my shop. It's the crocheted version of the knitting machine version that I also have available. This guy was made on the knitting machine. So if you don't have a knitting machine, I made the crochet version. We were originally going to do this, but I feel like this one would take a little bit more time than what we're trying to keep it here for Crochetmas. So we switched to the tree, but you still get the product tags that go with this guy. I'll show another view of it here in just a second. And if you want to grab today's showing up live bonus, you can go to acraftyconcept.com/twinkle. That is today's secret URL for the showing up live bonus. It's my free gift to you just for being here live with me. I could not do this. It would not be fun. I could do it, but it would not be fun sitting here talking to myself all the time. That will give you the ad-free PDF to make the crocheted Addie Bear. This is just the cover for show purposes here. But if you go to this URL here, you will get this ad-free PDF. If you need to follow along with the PDF that we'll be using today, we're just going to be using this one. And I gave this to you guys on day 1. So if you've been hanging out since day 1, if you were able to show up live, you have this in your pocket somewhere, digital pocket, printed pocket, whatever tickles your fancy. If you don't have it, this is a free pattern on my blog. It's the Crafty Boho Santa hat. So if you search Santa hat on my blog, you will find it very quickly. If you need to see the written, I'm also going to have it on screen here for you guys as well. We are going to switch views now so you can see our the freebies that I mentioned that we've already sent out. Okay. So this was in your inbox this morning. You can cut these out, hole punch them, put your price right there, and then you can attach them to your Addie Bears. Like you could attach them on the arm, you could attach them near the bottom, however that makes sense for your business and brand. But hopefully that will help you sell some of these if you are doing markets. Speaking of markets, did anybody have any holiday markets over the weekend? Oh, Anthea did, but it was canceled. Dadgummit. Dang. These lights that are on this Christmas tree came from Hobby Lobby. And this is what they look like they're from Hobby Lobby's mini tree section. There's, oh my gosh, so many things in that section that we could use to decorate these trees with. I'm obsessed with them. I love anything mini. I think it's so much fun. Okay, so Anthea has 4 more markets. Hi, Wendy. So the hat pattern was given out on day 1. We don't have the tree pattern because we're making this one up as we go. It's following the hat pattern, but it's still not exact to the hat pattern because we're going to be using single crochets instead of half double crochets. So we're just going to kind of be making it up as we go here for this live. But this is a free pattern in my blog. If you want the PDF, it is in my Etsy shop. If you go to craftyconcept.com/shop, craftyconcept.com/shop. It will take you to the shop on my blog, and you can find all of the ad-free PDFs available for purchase there. For today's pattern, I think I already said that you can use any yarn and hook combo that you would like. So if you've got some stash balls that you need to go through, now is the time to do it because all of them turn out so cute no matter what size yarn or what size hook you're using. For today, I will be using Brava bulky weight. So it's kind of just like a swelled up worsted weight. It says it's a 5. I'm going to be using my J 6mm clover more hook with my Brava. It's just a little bit bigger than worsted weight. It's not, I wouldn't call it a chunky. I wouldn't even call it a bulky. It's like worsted weight yarn got stung by a bunch of bumblebees and it was allergic, and then you got bulky, Brava bulky. That's the best way I can explain it. My face is looking very glowy, not in a good way. Hopefully it's just my screen, and on your screen, I'm trying to figure out which one of these 2 lights. I think maybe it's this guy. Sorry, I'm gonna let you look at this pretty picture while I turn down the brightness. I can't tell which. Oh, it's got to be that one. That one was up to 60-something%. Okay, had to have been that one. A little bit better. Okay, excellent. One more thing that I found today while I was at Hobby Lobby getting the yarn that I needed to finish my gingerbread people pillow cover that I'm working on. I found these plastic grid circles, and it is almost the exact size as this that I made yesterday for practice purposes. We could cut this one down if we needed to, just follow the lines really simply if we needed to make it smaller. They have all kinds of different sizes. This is at Hobby Lobby, $1.49, and there's 7 of them in here. You can also buy the grids in like sheets, like square grids, not circular grids, and cut them to circle shapes that you need. But I used this in the base of my, well, I didn't use this, I used cardboard. But I'm going to use it in the base of my Christmas tree so that it's a little bit flatter down here and it's not bulging out from the polyfill. So it's to create like a little bit of a barrier from the polyfill to make it a little bit more shapely. I still feel like my lights are really messed up. That's going to irritate me to death. Why am I glowing like an alien? It's not even good. Let's see. Change the coolness. I got these new lights specifically for Crochetmas. And they work. They're just being crazy today for some reason. Let's go beef up the coolness. Down the... Okay, maybe I just had them too warm. Let's try it again. Okay, that seems to be better. So sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with this pattern. So I'm going to be turning in the Crafty Boho Santa hat. And we're going to follow this pattern, but where it says half double crochets, we're going to do single crochets instead. So I'm going to grab my sweet little elbow sleeve to try to help with the elbow pain. And my J-hook and my yarn. Let me know in the comments what kind of yarn you're using, because I'm very, very interested to see how all of them turn out to be different. Hello, Peg. Glad you could make it. When you said yesterday you would be making a pink tree, I didn't think of this pink. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to see it finished. Oh, I'm excited. I was trying to look through. It was either this or like a Chanel baby pink. But I have a ton of this, and it shows up nicely on camera when I did a little practice. So hopefully, I don't know why it keeps changing my face. I think it's trying to adjust with the, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the lighting is so crazy and that my face looks like an alien. let's go ahead and we're going to start by making a magic circle. Also, if you haven't noticed, it is just me today. Mackenzie is on vacation. Chain 1. So I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on the comments. Remind people of the free Show Up Live bonus gift, which is right here, acraftyconcept.com/twinkle. And try to keep everything nice and organized. Hi, Kathleen. Okay. Anthea's using Loops and Threads Sweet Snuggles. Ooh, color blush. Oh my gosh, I bet it's lovely. Okay, we're going to single crochet 12 times into the center of this magic circle. So that's 1. We're just putting our single crochets right into the magic circle for a total of 12. 3. If you want your tree skinnier, do less than 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And close her up by pulling our starting tail. And you can feel all those stitches falling right into line. I love it. Join into the top of your first one. I think it's that one. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it's this guy that got smudged down in here. So join into the top of your first single crochet. Now, I said if you wanted to make it skinnier, do less than 12. Super simple. You could do 6, 8, 10, anything less than 12 and you'll be good. You can also make this pattern in the round instead of chaining and joining, and then you won't have such a drastic seam up the back if you wanted to. And I think going in the round would be fine for this pattern because it would look like the baubles were wrapped around like just like these lights are. Like if you were decorating a tree with trimmings or tasks like this stuff or the fuzzy stuff, you go in a spiral. So you could absolutely go in the round if you wanted to. The reason I'm not going in the round is just for the sake of this video and being able to remember where I'm at without counting perfectly so I can watch you guys over here as well. But I think going in the round would probably make a lot more sense. But I'm going to not do that for the sake of this video. So I'm going to join into the top of my first single crochet if I can get it through there. Ugh. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate because we're live on the internet for the world to see. Okay, got it. And that one, and then chain 1. Now for row 2, we are going to put 2 increases. So from 12 to 14, and no matter what you started with, you can still do 2 increases. You can follow along with the number of increases that we've got going on. So I'm going to just single crochet. It says half double crochet 2 times. So 1 and then 2. And then it says to increase here. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker there so I know where my increases are so I can space them out in a different spot for the next row. And then it says to half double crochet 5. We're single crocheting. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to increase in the next stitch. 1 and 2. An increase is just 2 single crochets in the same spot. Well, 2 of any stitch, but for this pattern, it's single crochets in the same spot. And then half double crochet 3, or single for us because we're not making a hat, we're making a tree. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. Join into the top of the first, or just move up your stitch marker if you're going in the round. And we're going to chain 1 for those who are joining and chaining. Now for round 3, we're going to increase again by 2 stitches, but I'm not going to use my stitch mark, or I'm not going to count where I put them because I feel like that would be super annoying for you guys. So I'm just going to place them randomly and make sure they're not on top of my previous ones. I don't want them in the same spots over and over again because that would make my tree wonky. I also don't want to never put increases in one specific spot. My green one that I have, I believe I didn't put any increases near the starting chain, so the back of it is a little weird. It's not very shapely. I'm going to increase right here. It's a little wonky, and I think that's why. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more intentional with this one, and we'll see how she turns out. And I'm going to go ahead and count these and make sure we got 16. Red Heart Super Saver in the color Patty Green. This is my pattern, Michelle. It's the Santa hat, just single crochets instead of half double crochets. But there's probably lots of bobble stitch crochet Christmas trees out there. There's probably tons of them. $16, perfect. Okay. Join into the top if that's what the method you're going with. And chain 1. Also, well, never mind. That's not accurate. Now for row 4, we're going to go from 16 to 19. So we need 3 increases this time. And I'm going to put my first increase right smack where that starting chain is. That's 1. And then I'm going to space out my other 2 just kind of in between where these ones are, trying not to line them up on top of each other. Let's go here. So increase. We're just giving it 3 increases going from 16 to 19. Oops, didn't put a stitch marker on my increase. There it is. And we need 1 more increase somewhere on this side. Let's go right here. Trying to space them out. And then after this row, we will have our first bobble row. Okay. Join into the top of our first single crochet. Chain 1. Now we are going to turn our work. You know what? In the round, I wonder what that would do if we were in the round with the turning. Hi, Tina. Oh my gosh, it'll be so perfect, Christina. Let me try to catch up on the, okay. So for row 5, we're going to, it says bobble single around, ending with a bobble because it's an odd number. So we're going to start with the bobble stitch in this first space here, right after our chain. So to do the bobble stitch, we're going to yarn over or under. It doesn't matter. That's just personal preference. Insert into the stitch, grab our yarn, pull up a loop, still turn in the round. I've learned it works better. Thank you, Laura. Yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1. We're going to do that for a total of 4 times. 2, yarn over, into the same stitch, grab your yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 3. 1 more time. Pull through 2. That's 4. We have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5. And then we're going to go directly into the next stitch for our single crochet. That's the bobble stitch. We're going to do that all the way around. Single bobble, single bobble, single bobble. Very repetitive and the perfect project for binge watching Christmas movies. It doesn't matter where the increases are for this row because we're not increasing, but we might want to be a little bit mindful in the next row to not put them on top of each other, even though there's a row in between. It's not super important, but because that one turned out a little wonky, I'm not taking any chances. Just going to bobble single around. Keeping my tension nice and taut. Helps my bobbles pooch out better. You could also make your bobble rows in a different color. Maybe you would do white to make them kind of resemble snow. The options are endless with this pattern. So many fun things you could do to customize them. I have to say I'm obsessed with the slug pattern. I may or may not have made 3. I'm currently making 1, plan to make 1 more. Oh my gosh, so fun. You'll have to take a group picture, Elena. So fun. That is the pattern from Summer of Sister Stitch Co. She is absolutely stellar. Cheryl, you and me both. I'm a sucker for a good bobble stitch. I love it. And we're going to end with a bobble stitch because it's an odd number. So we have a single crochet here and then a bobble stitch in the next space. Nita, just do one and then when the live is over, do the other one. Now we're going to join into the top of our first stitch, which was a bobble. So all the way over here. That's where I'm going to join. And chain 1 and turn our work again. Whether you're doing it in the round or chaining, you still need to turn your work before and after each bobble row. Okay, we're on row 6 now. We are going to increase from 19 to 21. So that's 2 increases. So we're going to have 2 increases somewhere around this circle. Whoops. I think I need to pull out a bunch of yarn because it's coming out kind of tightly. Let's see. Can't tell where my increases were. I'm going to put this one here in the next stitch. I like to put my increases on top of the single crochets and not the bobbles. It's just personal preference. It probably doesn't even affect the finished thing. And if you don't like being random with where you place your stitches, in the Santa hat pattern, I give very detailed instructions on how many to single crochet in between your increases. I'm just doing it like this for the sake of the video so I can make it easier to chat with you guys while I crochet. So I don't have to give it all of my attention. I'm going to go past this bobble and I'm going to increase over here. So that's 19, 20, 21 with the 2 increases. Still keeping my tension nice and taut. Nothing too loosey-goosey here. Okay, my last stitch was a bobble. Join into the top of my first one. I need to mark my increase. Where did it go? There it is. Boop. For row 7, we're going to increase 2 again, from 21 to 23. So I'm going to single crochet around and throw in 2 increases wherever I feel like they should go. I'll put the first one here. Just trying not to line them up. And then single crocheting till I get to my next increase spot that I am making up as I go. Let's go right here. I'm excited to see how this one looks when it's finished. I really liked the look of my green. I don't know if it's velvet or Chanel. I think it might be Chanel. I think I said velvet earlier, but I think it's Chanel. But I think velvet would be gorgeous. A velvet Christmas tree. Should have went with velvet today, but I thought it might be a little bit weird on camera. I'm not sure. Okay, join into the top of our first one. Chain 1. For row 8, we're going to increase 2 times. So in case you're not able to pick up on the repeat that we're doing, we have 4 rows of single crochets in between each bobble. And each row, it goes increase by 2, increase by 2, increase by 2, increase by 3. That's the repeat theme happening. So if you wanted to adjust it and have different stitch counts, you absolutely can. This stitch count, like this amount of increasing to row ratio, will give you the type of fatness that this tree turns out to be. But if you wanted it skinnier, taller, wider, you would just change your number of increases. If you want it wider, you change your number, have more increases. If you want it skinnier, maybe you throw in one of the 4 rows, you increase by 2, and then you don't increase at all. And then you increase by 2, and then you increase by 2 instead of 3. That's going to give you a taller tree. Hopefully that is helpful for anybody that wants to adjust their size. So this is row 8, 5, 6, 7, yeah, and we're going up to 23. So 2 increases for row 8. I'm going to put one of them needs to be over here. So let's go, not this one, the next one. I'm going to put my first increase here. And then my second one will be way over there on the other side. Here we go. Oh. Oh my goodness, a sore right thumb from too much crocheting. Oh, Elena's coming in with some exercises for you. There's where I'm putting my second increase. Laura says bobble stitch is the best. We love the bobble stitch. Okay, I think that is my last spot. So join into the top of my first stitch. Chain 1. Now for row 9, we're going up to 28. So we've got 3 increases for row 9, but I'm not going to mark them because then row 10 is a bobble stitch and I don't need them in there anyway. So 3 increases for row 9. Okay. I think I'm going to put my first one here in the same spot again. That's where my first one's going to go. You know what? I might need to do stitch markers just so I know that I've already increased once, because then I might mess up how many times I increase. That was 1. I'm going to do my second one after this guy somewhere. Maybe, yeah, let's go right here. Actually, here, next one. That's my increase. And then my last one will be right after this yellow guy over here. And I'm not going to put the stitch marker in there because I'm going to go right here. Because the next row is a bobble row. Okay. Join into the top of our first single crochet, chain 1, and turn our work. We always turn our work before and after a bobble row. So for this row, we are going to bobble single around. This time we have 28 stitches, which is an even number. So we'll start with a bobble stitch, end with a single crochet. So again, with the bobble stitch, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all of those and keep it going. If you've been following along in my Instagram stories and you've been seeing my grid pillows that I'm working on, I was working on a gingerbread couple and I ran out of the pink. Finally went to Hobby Lobby today, but while I was waiting to go to Hobby Lobby, I started my next one, which is of my cat Clementine, and it's my favorite pillow so far. I used a faux fur yarn that I got from the Dollar Tree. I think it's Premiere something something, and it is so perfect. I can't wait to show it, show the finished thing. I'm hoping I can finish the gingerbread one up tonight, and then the cat one up tomorrow sometime, and then block them. And then I'm probably going to start adding all of the details. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're pretty plain right now. And I'm going to go in with puff paint for some of it and embroidery for some of it, like embroidery with a tapestry needle and yarn. And also surface slip stitch some of it. And I'm going to add some fun festive details to them. This is my selfish project that I like to work on when everybody else is asleep. They're looking very cute, Laura. I'm glad you're interested. The cat one is like a little orange kitten poking his head out of a Christmas wreath. And I kept it very plain for the sake of the ease of changing colors and keeping up with all the bobbins and stuff. And I regret a little bit making the wreath so plain, but I think I can add to it enough that it will be really fun. Maybe I'll go back in with like crocodile stitches or something. Maybe get real crazy. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's looking very cute though. I'm obsessed with it. That one's my favorite for sure. And I think I made this grid up myself from a graphic that I just grabbed on Canva, a free graphic. I have to look at my document and see if I made it myself or not. Some of them I use grids that I found on Pinterest from like maybe melty bead grids or cross stitch grids. I just search pixel art, and then you can follow the same thing and with crochet. It's very fun, even though it wasn't even intended for crochet. Okay, we have a bobble single, and then this row is finished because we started on a bobble, so we're going to end on a single because it is an even number of stitches. Join into the top of our first stitch, which was the bobble stitch. Chain 1 and turn our work. Excellent. If you wanted a teensy little stubby Christmas tree, call it a day. I want to make sure it's not. Yes. I want to make sure this seam that I'm doing is not staying like straight down like this while the rest of it comes out. That's kind of what happened with my green one. Let me take this. Well, I can't take it off because it's. So I don't know if you can tell. So see how it's kind of like this and then bulging out? I think it's because I didn't put any increases on this side. I was in a hurry trying to get a sample done so we could get pictures so we could change all the things. So I'm hoping that with being more mindful about putting increases on this side, that will fix that problem. So turn our work. Now for row 11, we're going to single crochet 30. So that's 2 increases. I see we've got a couple more people that have joined us. If you go to acraftyconcept.com/twinkle, you can get today's showing up live bonus, which is the ad-free PDF for the crochet Addie Bear. Definitely grab that freebie as a thank you from me to you for showing up live and making Crochetmas the most fun ever. Put my first increase right there. Okay. Oop. And my second increase, trying not to, there was one. Let's go over here. Oop. And right here for an increase. Got it. Finish single crocheting around until I have 30 stitches. I think I moved my phone too close to my hands. when I readjust it. I'm afraid I'm going to smack it. It is very peaceful, Megan. Megan says she also crochets through the night. It's hard sometimes for me to make myself go to sleep because it is so peaceful. I'm not interrupted, not one time. My dog did come out of our bedroom last night and found me where I was hiding, and I had to go put him back in there and then shut the bedroom door. He's never done that before. But it's really nice. I can watch as many of the episodes as I want. I'm not getting interrupted at all. It's beautiful. It's my favorite, probably my favorite evening. Laura said, following a cross-stitch pattern I made, crocheted a big peacock hanging a couple of years ago. It's very fun. Oh my gosh, Asia, fabric paint will change your life. You can use them for everything. Also, Asia, with your other question, I use Procreate on my iPad to make my grids, and I just draw them. But I do have a tutorial on YouTube. It's very old. I'm going to put my first one here. It's very old, so forgive me with my learning curve of learning how to do videos. But I show how I do it. It's probably the hard way. There's probably an easier way. But I use Procreate on my iPad. So this row, I'm just increasing by 2, going from 30 to 32. Here's my, yeah. And put it here. Tomorrow, for our last day of Crochetmas, we will be making the Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy headband. And it's super simple. It will be a very quick one. But I sold a ton of them when I was doing markets back in the day. I think I either sold out or very close to selling out. And I was trying to crochet more while people were shopping because they were selling so fast. Just simple little tubular ear warmers. So hopefully you guys will like tomorrow's pattern too. And you will be able to get some sales at your holiday markets you've got coming up. Chain 1 for row 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going from 32 up to 34. I'm going to not go in that first stitch. I'm going to come over here and try to straighten up my seam. And we're going to 2 more increases. So let's see. I'm going to put the first one kind of between my 2 stitch markers that I already had. And then my second one will go kind of across from it. That's my first increase. My voice is trying really hard to give out. I'm surprised I haven't yet. I believe I damaged it during softball 2 seasons ago, when we were in the championship that we spanked in. It's like 13-0. It was wild. That team was way better than us on paper. Let's do one more. New. Let's do it right where it's at. Okay. But I was screaming like a gremlin, and I think I've damaged my vocal cords or whatever. Some piece of my throat. I don't know. I don't know anything about throat anatomy. But my voice goes away very easily now, and it also kind of jiggles. It's almost like my sister called it something. She's a speech pathologist, so she knows what it is, and I can't remember. It's some sort of, it sounds weird. Gabe doesn't notice it, but I notice it, and it drives me crazy. Chain 1. Now we're on row 14, and we're going to increase by 3. So 34, 35, 36, 37 stitches. Let me make sure my guy is not looking like he was with my green one. I want to make sure it's looking coney. I still feel like this side is not doing what I want it to. So I'm going to put my first increase right there again. Hopefully that's going to solve the problem. That's my first increase. Maybe I need to do that more often. Maybe I need to, I could put another increase right next to it. I might do that for this row just to be like drastically like, don't be straight over here, be coney. I think I will. Also, I don't need to use my stitch markers this time because I am doing a bobble row next. But I do need to try to remember that I did do one so far. And I'm going to do two. My second one, yeah, like right here. One more right here. And then I'll do my third one right up next to my first one, but on the other side. I normally would not recommend that, but I feel like it needs a drastic straightening up. Hi, Toby. Glad you could stop by. Asia, it is awkward a little bit, but you just pretend there's people in here with you. That's what I do. I'm going to increase right here next to, yeah. Let's see how that does. Chain one. Okay, yeah. I think that's going to work nicely. Now we have a bobble row. So we're going to turn our work before and after every bobble row. I'm going to scoop my phone up. Here comes some movement. Oh, Anthea said she went to bed at 3 a.m. And then Susie said that I've been around 2 a.m. for me. It's not good. It's not good because then I have to function. Row 15 is 37, so odd number. So we're going to start and end with the same stitch, which is going to be a bobble stitch. Three and four. Eventually we're going to redesign our bedroom to create like a little crochet corner. So I don't have to, because right now I'm crocheting in my closet, which is connected to my bedroom. It's a walk-in closet. It's not a small, like I'm not just crammed in a corner in the dark, like I'm being like Beauty and the Beast, the prisoner. It's not like that. But I am on the floor and it's not great. So I think once we rearrange our bedroom, we can add a little crochet corner, and then I can use one of those little neck lamps to crochet in the dark. That light and sound doesn't affect Gabe. He can sleep through anything, but I still try to be a little courteous when I can. I could go upstairs in the guest room, but then I might not come back down, and then Gabe's feelings would be hurt if I didn't come back down. Also, it's cold up there. I would have to turn on the heat, and I don't want to fool with that. Hang on, I'm trying to read your comment. Toby tends to wake up at 2 or 3 hours most nights, so I tend to have overnight crochet project on the go. Woo! My goodness. Ava got up. Ava was using a hot glue gun yesterday, and she burnt her fingers and lost her mind. She absolutely went crazy town, but it does freaking hurt to get hot glue on your fingers. Thankfully, it was not my like super duper hot glue gun that has two temperatures, which is regular hot glue gun temperature and then really freaking hot. Luckily, it wasn't that one. She just had a regular hot glue gun that was just regular hot glue gun temperature, and it didn't bubble up, I don't think. If it did, Gabe picked it off immediately because he was the one who got to it before I did. So she woke up because her finger was hurting. But that is very, very inconvenient and very like aggravating, painful. So I was trying to explain to Gabe because he was like, she's overreacting. I'm like, listen, you don't understand how painful it is, and you use your fingers for everything more than you think about, especially if it's like your left hand or something. But it's everything, and then everything is inconvenienced. It's awful. So she was really stressed out about it. She did overreact, but this is the first time it happened to her, so she wasn't knowing what to expect. And we put the stuff on it, and she wanted a Band-Aid, so we did that, and it was just awful. But today was a lot better. But she did wake up because of that. Usually we don't have any issues with her getting up. One time she did get up when I was looking for our cat outside. I was looking through the windows with a flashlight, like a big spotlight flashlight, so I could see for like little glowing eyes. And I walked in front of her bedroom and I could tell a little light coming through the crack of the door from like the road. And that means her door was a little bit open, but my brain didn't register. And then I saw her like shadow, like a black, like it was all black, but there was a darker black in the shape of a small girl. It scared the bejesus out of me. I screamed bloody murder, like someone was trying to stab me to death. And then Ava said, "Mommy," out of being scared. And then I said, "Ava," like I was the Grim Reaper. I said it so deep and growly. And then it scared her to death because I growled her name at her. And so then she screamed bloody murder. And then Gabe's trying to turn on the lights and he's tripping over the vacuum that was in the hallway. And it was just an absolute chaotic, crazy time. This was probably a year and a half ago, maybe closer to 2. It was so funny. But I think it traumatized her because now she does not get out of her room when it is bedtime. She doesn't get out of her room. And I think she thinks that she might get scared to death if she does. It was so funny. Chain 1 and turn our work. Okay. Now, I think we are getting a very lovely cone shape. I do think putting those 2 increases in the same spot was the right decision. It was crazy. It was an accident. I wasn't trying to scare her, but we were all scared. Everybody was scared. It was awful. I'm going to zoom out again. I'm going to lift up my phone and show you guys what I'm getting ready to think about. So with this, I need to take these lights off of here so we can see it a little bit better. And this was just thrown on for picture purposes. Okay, scoot that over. So we already talked about how it's a little bit misshapen because I didn't do enough increases where my seams were. So that's one mistake you don't want to make. And then the next one is like if this is the front of it, but on a like a shelf. I don't love how tall this is from the bobble. It's not my jam. And I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And I think 2 is fine. Oh, I just realized. I think 2 is fine. So I'm not digging either we. So for my next one, I'm not going to do that many rows. If I was going to do this many rows, I would need to do another bobble row and then 2 more after that. So I'm just going to do less rows for this one. So it's not like that one. So we are on row 16 and we're increasing up to 39, which is 2 increases. And then I think after that, we're going to turn to like finishing. So I'm going to come back down. We're going to increase to 39. So that means 2 increases. Just randomly spaced out. I need to make sure. Because our last increase, we put them both. Yeah, I'm not going to put one on the edge just now. I'm going to put one right here. Nope. Right before this one. Because I like it to be in a single crochet. Just personal preference. So there's my first one. If I can get a hold of it. Okay. And then after this row, we are going to switch gears. And I might have to give you some notes to take. Because it's going to be a little bit made up as we go. So if you want to grab some scrap paper or something that you can write down the steps that we're going to take. For those of you who need it to look back at it. You can always watch the replay too. This will always be available for your viewing pleasure. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go right here. Literally 1. That's my second one. And then once we finish, we will have 39 single crochets. 140 be nice. It's okay. We could do 40, but it's no problem. We're gonna go with 39. And this is the whole, like this is most of it for my Christmas tree. If you want yours taller, you would just keep going. but you still probably want to take a little bit of notes for how to finish it once you get it at the length that you want. Okay, and join into the top of our first stitch and chain 1. Now we are, let me look. Try to remember what I did. No. Yeah. So we're going to do one more row of 39. So another row of single crochets, no increases. So you can make a little note. One more row of single crochets, no increases. And then we're going to set it aside and we're going to get started on our base. All about that base. This is almost finished. Not too shabby. I do want to make a very tall one though, just not on camera. And maybe a little bit skinnier. So it doesn't use up so much yarn. Oh, I can't remember why that stitch marker was there because it's an increase. So no matter which length that you're going for, if you want yours to be 2 rows past your last bobble, you have an increase row and then a grow row. I think I made that up, but that just means it's a row where you grow your project and you're not increasing at all. You're just growing what you already have. That's what I call it. I call it a grow row. Okay. Join into the top of our first stitch. And I'm not going to chain 1. I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to put a stitch marker in that loop. So for some reason it doesn't get pulled back away. Now we can sew in our first tail using our tapestry needle. I also learned after I hung out with you guys yesterday that YouTube allows for me to link products into the videos now. So if you've been viewing my videos recently, like today or last night, and noticed that, that's because I just figured it out. I went through and tried to link the products that I'm using in some of my most popular videos. It's like a commission thing. I did find these scissors. They're linked in all of my videos. These are my favorite scissors. They're Clover brand, and I think they're embroidery scissors or something. I really, really like them a lot. They're like 20 bucks, and these were gifted to me, but they are better than any other scissors that I own. And I have a pair of sewing scissors that are specific for like cutting fabric, and these do a much better job. If you have struggled to make yarn pom-poms, like this one, this yellow one. If you struggled with that because you can't trim it up nicely, it could be your scissors, not you. These are lovely, lovely scissors. It's a great time of year to ask for them. They could go in your stocking. We'll do one more. And then we can just leave the tail hanging out in there because it's going to be stuffed anyway. So pop that out. Okay. Now, also, before you stuff it, if you wanted to add your star or whatever your topper is going to be, like I could take this and pull those 2 tails into that and then tie it. Oh, look how cute. They almost look like a little party hat. Like a little birthday party hat. Listen, we could just make 600 patterns from the same one. But you could go ahead and pull both of those tails in there and then tie it if you wanted to before you stuffed it, just to make it a little bit more secure. We are going to set this aside and get started on the base. And I'm just going to pull from the other side of my skein. Skein, whatever you say. I'm going to pull from the other side, the not center, because I don't want to estimate how much yarn I'm going to need and then get it wrong and end up wasting yarn or having to reattach yarn and having more tails than I need. I don't want to grab a new skein because it's not necessary. So I'm going to just pull off a bunch of that and then come over here and clip this off because it is messy. She has been mistreated. She'll go in my scraps bucket. Okay. Now, to make our base, we want a circle that is as big as this. I bought these at Hobby Lobby today. They're 4.5 inches. I guess diameter. Let's see. It looks like it. Okay, so this is going to be a little big for this tree. I can trim it down. I could take off at least one whole row, maybe two. I'd like for it to be a little snug, so maybe I could just do one and then see how that looks. But I could just take not my good scissors. I'll get some other scissors and cut off a row of this. Or you could use cardboard, or you could use I don't know, anything else that you can cut fairly easily. You could probably use an oatmeal container lid. Those are plastic. And then cut your circle out of it. You could use like plastic to-go containers that like for food. Wash them very good if you wanted to. I'm going to cut this down, I think. I got those today, and I want to try it out. I'd like to use my good scissors so I can have good control and can see very clearly what I'm doing, but I don't want to risk damaging them because they are my favorite. So I'm just going to cut into and then down. I hope you can see that. I'm just taking one row of grid off. That's simple. That's really simple. These were pretty cheap, $1.50 for 7 of them. The yarn was on sale today, but I don't know if this was. I don't know if that covers notions. I don't think it does. If you could get them at Michael's, you could probably use a coupon. Okay. Boom. Super simple. Oh, yeah, 3D printer, Laura. That's a good idea. Deborah, it's the same. Those words can be traded out. Deborah's asking about tomorrow's pattern. So let's see if we think that one is gonna. I want it to be a little bit like stretched around it. I want it to have some structure. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And we're gonna get started crocheting our circle. Now this one had 12 in the magic circle when we started it. For my practice tree, I started with just 6. Let's try 12. So I'm going to take my yarn. I dropped it. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, are you tying off and crocheting a separate piece? So I left it connected for now. It's still connected to my yarn. And then I'm crocheting a separate piece. I'll tie off of that. And then I'll come back over here and pick up where I left off and crochet it on using a slip stitch. Yes, and then this is to help also keep it flat. Hi, Jamie. Here is the link for today's Showing Up Live bonus, craftyconcept.com/twinkle. That's for today's bonus. Okay, so we are going to start again with the magic circle and single crochet 12 into the magic circle. This is another section that you might want to take notes on. 12 single crochets into the magic circle. Your circle might vary based on the base of your tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 12 and then increase until it gets close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 10, 11. You know what? 12. We need the last row of our base to have the same number of stitches as this row. And ours has 39. So we would need, is not prime. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's 12. 12 times 3. But 3 rows is not going to be enough. You know what? We're going to wing it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 12 gets all the way shoved way down in here. Just trying to make it harder on me. Okay. So I'm going to go magic circle 12, 24, 36. These were the counts that I did for my last one. I'm going to go 12, 24, 36, 48 is too many. 36, 37, 38, 39. But I don't think 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we should start with 6. If we did 6, then 36. Yeah. Let's start with 6. I think that would be smarter because we need to get it round enough, like it needs to grow at the right rate. So we're going to do 6. Sorry. Okay. Chain 1 and then 6 into the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Close her up. Now I'll pull it super tight until I close this so I don't lose that little thing again. Then I'll close it the rest of the way. Chain 1, close it the rest of the way. Excellent. Now we're going to increase in each stitch all the way around, going from 6 to 12. Just 2 increases in each stitch all the way around. 1, 2. 1, 2. Super simple. Should be, yeah, one more. Well, that might be my join. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, join into the top of our first stitch. Also, something that you could do if you wanted to, you can chain 1 and turn in between your base rows. I think that gives it more straight structure. So this one I did not chain 1 and turn. I went the same direction. I think it's actually maybe in the round. Yeah. So if you can see, like, this is a spiral. I did this one in the round. I was in a hurry to get this finished. I think I'm going to not do it in the round, but I'll turn. I'll chain 1 and turn for the next row. I didn't do it after the first one, so it's going to look a little funny, but I think that will give it more structure to make it not poochy outy. So for the third one, we're going to increase in the first stitch, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So we will have 1 single crochet in between all of our increases. The previous row had 0 single crochet in between the increases. That's an increase. Increase, and then 1. And then increase, and then 1. Increase, and we are increasing by 6 every row because 6 was our starting row, starting in our magic circle. Increase there, single there, increase in the next one, and then you should end opposite of what you started with. So we're going to end with a single, join into the top of our first one, chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to increase in the first stitch, 1, 2, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Single, single, and we're growing our circle by 6 stitches every time, and we're adding another stitch in between the increases for every row. That's how we're going to grow our circle in a continuous, like a consistent shape. Increase, single, single, increase, single, single. And if I had done this with 12 stitches in my magic circle, I would be increasing by 12 every time if I followed this same rhythm, I guess is the word for it. I mean, I could have got a little funky if I wanted to. I'm trying to make it as easy to follow as possible. And I think rhythm makes it easier to follow. Single, single, join into the top of our first stitch. Chain 1 and turn our work. We have 6, 12, 18, 24. This next row will be 30. So we're going to increase in the first stitch, then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Heather. Increase 3. The URL for the Show Up Live bonus is acraftyconcept.com/twinkle. Increase. 1, 2, 3. Increase. 1, 2, 3, all the way around. And this is going to get us to 30 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Increase. 1, and then we're going to look at it. 1, 2, 3. Look at the size. Join to the top of our first one, unless you're going in the round. You do you. Chain 1, turn our work. So the next one, I mean, we can see very clearly that this is not big enough yet. See? So we're going to do another row just like this one, and that's going to get us up to 36. And then our next row, we're going to have to add 3 more because we need the same number of stitches here that we have here, and that is 39. So we're going to do one more row just like that, same rhythm, where we increase in the first stitch and then single crochet, this time 4. 4 stitches in between each of the increases. 2, 3, 4. Okay, increase, single crochet 4. Oh, I need to pull out some more. 3, 4 yarn because I'm not in a center pull anymore. I don't want to run into my phone and make y'all car sick. Take y'all for a ride. And then once we get it the correct size, we're going to join it to the base of our Christmas tree with slip stitches. Okay, and we should be at an increase. Yes, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. 3, 4. Hi, Jamie. Thanks, Tina. 3, 4, and then increase. And we should have 4 stitches left to end. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, join into the top of our first one, chain 1, and turn our work. Okay, let's see how we're getting on size-wise. Boop. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I feel like if we were to join it now, our tree would have a little bit, it would be like almost like a teardrop shape. But we're going to do one more row. And if we don't like it, we'll pull it back out. But we're going to do one more row. But this time we're only increasing 3 more stitches. Thankfully, 3 is half of 6. So if we were doing 6, we would increase single crochet 5. Increase single crochet 5. We're going to skip every other increase. I know that sounds like a little confusing. We're going to do it together. So I'm going to increase in the first stitch. Then single crochet 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally we would increase in this stitch if we were increasing the row by 6. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do 1. We're not increasing there. And then we're going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to increase. That's our second increase. Then we're going to do 5. 3, 4, 5. This should be an increase. We're just doing 1. And then we're going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If yours wasn't as clean as 3 and 6 and you needed 4 increases, just lay your circle down, put 4 stitch markers evenly spaced-ish. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, just evenly-ish. And then put your increases where those stitch markers are. And I think we're at an increase now. So increase here. That's my 3rd increase. And then single crochet 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be an increase. We're not increasing. We should have 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hopefully that makes sense. Is anybody confused? Yes, Heather, it is. It's the Christmas tree that we made from the hat pattern. It is a Crochetmas exclusive. It is not a currently published pattern. We're just kind of making it up as we go. Giving myself some more slack. I thought I pulled off way more than enough, and then I'm already up to it. So, okay. Join into the top of our first one and chain 1. Now let's see what we've got. Boop. Yes, I like it. It's almost a little bit big, right? But when we join them, this is stretchy. So it's just going to stretch to nicely snug up against this guy. So I think this is going to be good. We're going to sew in our tail. Let's see. This is going to be the outside. This is going to be the inside. Can't even see where my magic circle is from this side. Maybe on this side. There it is. Well, right smack in the middle. Okay, there we go. I like to go under the stitches of my magic circle to just kind of reassure that up. Is anybody confused? Anything? I'm glad you're finding it helpful. If anybody's confused on how to make their base, let me know. I can try to help you as best I can. I get confused when I can't see what you're trying to tell me, but I'll do the best that I can. Get in there. Okay. Pop it out onto the wrong side or the inside. Such a good live. Love all the info and seeing your brain works while you walk through it. Oh, I'm glad you're finding it helpful, Christina. Okay, that can just hang out. Now we are going to, so what we could do is like sew these things together. I don't think it's necessary though. So I'm just going to set it over there for now. And I'm going to tie off for this guy because I'm just going to use my joined yarn over there. So I'm going to cut this yarn, tie off. I would sew in that tail, but I'm just going to throw it in there and hide it. So we're going to come back over here to our working yarn that we kept connected. We should have 39 stitches on our base and 39 stitches in the last row of our Christmas tree. So they should line up very nicely. I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 because I didn't do that previously. And now I'm going to line these puppies up. I'm going to line them up with the ends touching, like the tails. So the way I'm going to slip stitch these together is I'm going to go in the back loop only of the tree. Back loop, normally we go here, which is both loops. This is the front loop. This guy over here, that's the back loop. So we're going to go back loop only here. And then we're going to grab our base. And then we're going to go front loop only. So again, this is both loops. This is the front loop, just this guy here. Boop. We're going to go front loop only from this one, back loop only from this one. And that's where we're going to place our slip stitch. Super simple. Just grab your yarn, go through all the loops, those 2 stitches and the loop on your hook. Okay, that's 1. Back loop and front loop and slip. That's 2. Back loop, front loop. I believe this is going to be what helps create like a drop off to help keep the bottom flat. If we just single crocheted them together, it would still work. It just might create, yeah, I think this works nicely for making it's like a ledge, like a drop off. So it's not gradual. I'm gonna have to get a drink of Dr. Pepper. Once we get a little bit around, we will start stuffing our tree and then add our little plastic piece. We'll do just a couple more. And then we'll get a drink of Dr. Pepper. Okay. Seeing here you work through it on the fly is very helpful. Thanks to you and one other designer, I've grown confident in myself to try making my own stuff up. Oh my gosh, she said she made a dumpster fire plush. How fun. Let me get you the link again. I can't see it. ACRAFTY. Concept.com/TWINKLE. Should be able to just click it from there and it'll take you straight to it. Oh, Jamie, that's going to be so fun. She's going to love that. In my defense, I think this was Chanel yarn, not velvet. I thought it was velvet, but now that I'm looking at it, I think it was Chanel. But yeah, it can be a little tedious to work with the textured yarn at all. Okay, so continue. Oh no, we was going to stuff now, weren't we? I got distracted from the Dr. Pepper. Okay, so we are going to add some of our stuffing, probably not all of it. I have a whole bunch already pre-plucked apart down here in the floor. Okay. So I'm gonna, now I did notice when I made my first one that the tip of my tree wasn't very prominent. So I'm making sure to stuff the tip of my tree very good. And then the rest of it I can just kind of, if there's anything that you wanted to secure before closing her up, now is the time to do that. For some reason. Okay. Another thing that you could do, you could, instead of stuffing it, which Deborah and I, we talked about it on when we made the hat, I think, and we first started playing with this idea, you can use the little styrofoam cones. If this one is a little bit fatter than the styrofoam cones are, you could make yourself a cone out of cardstock or poster board. That's the exact shape. So if you wanted to just Google paper cone Christmas tree, I'm sure Pinterest has a ton of options for you. Okay, I'm going to single crochet a little bit more and then I'll stuff some more. You know me, chronic overstuffer. This one is much shorter than my other one. I like the size, like the height of my other Christmas tree better than this one, but I think I like this one's proportions a little bit better. Also, I did change yarn and hooks. That other one had a bigger hook and yarn, my green one. And I think having a variety of sizes all together would be darling, like with one another on display. You could decorate these with puff paint. I think Christina said that's what she's going to do. And then, or the little trinkets from Hobby Lobby or the Dollar Tree where you can get mini tree ornaments and lights and all that fun stuff. I have a little bowl of trinkets next to me and we're going to look at once I finish this guy and just kind of brainstorm some ways we could decorate them. I have a little thing of twinkle lights I'm going to try. Yep, you could, Dwayna. Or, I mean, you could add a toilet paper roll in the middle and then stuff around that. It doesn't have to be a perfect cone shape if you're also going to add the stuffing. The stuffing could do the job. let's see. You could also probably stuff it with scrap yarn if you have any of that. Or you could put weighted beads in the bottom of it to help it sit up firmly on its bottom. Okay. It's looking very cute, very cone shaped like I want. I'm going to go ahead and take this little plastic guy and shove down my polyfill. Hopefully you can see me working from the other view of the camera. Now, if he's too big, he's a little big. Look, I'll show you. Let me switch views so you can see. Okay. They just turned TV on. So my plastic is a little bit big for the tree because if I sealed it off the rest of the way, I think there is a good chance that it would be like, oh, beautiful. It's either that or it would be perfect. But I think I'm trying to eyeball it before it's done. I mean, I guess we could just go around it and see and then cut it down. I think we're going to cut it down again. We'll try it. We'll try it the way that it is because you can never add more, right? So we'll try it the way that it is, and then I'll cut it down again. Okay. I'll cut it down again if we need to, which we probably will. I'm just going to continue. Back loop of the cone, front loop of the base. Loop. Another thing, if yours got a little misshapen because of the increases being spaced out poorly, like my green one, if I had a paper cone in there to force it into the correct shape, you wouldn't be able to tell. So I might end up pulling that guy apart. Well, then I'd have to, I probably won't. But for my next one, or if you still had trouble with yours being cone shaped, you could just try the paper or cardstock or poster board cone and see if that helped. Because I think it would. I think it would help it take the shape that we need. Okay, get in there, buddy. Get in there. Get in there. He is not wanting to go in there. Okay. So I really think we could force him to stay in there. I think we could force him. I'm worried that if I cut off another row, it'll be too small. But maybe it wouldn't. Let's just finish it and see how it looks. If it looks wonky, because right now it's looking wonky. But it might straighten up. Let's see. I'm glad that I found those. Wasn't even looking for them. It is getting a little tedious trying to crochet there. I'm just going to shove it in there. It's like really stretching out my stitching here. Back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. Okay, last one for now. There's still 2 left, but we're gonna stop it right here and see if we can't finagle it. Okay. Okay, so it's not perfect. I think trimming it off one more bit. It's creating a weird little, I don't hate it though. You see that weird, I think the plastic piece is coming up past my seam down here and it's almost like giving my tree some hips. Yeah, I'm going to take it back out and cut it down one more row. If I regret it, we'll just use cardboard. But I think, okay, I'm going to cut it down one more row. Good thing that it's simple to do. Okay, you're gonna be like, Ashley, we could have made an Addy bear by this time. probably gonna. And I made a practice one because I thought it was gonna work out all the kinks before we went live, but then I found these plastic things and I didn't like how tall it was. I mean, I like how tall it was. I didn't like how much space was from the last bobble row. So I wanted to change it, and now it's messed my math up and everything. Okay, let's try this one. Thank you guys for helping each other with the link. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Now let's finish. Actually, I do think I need a little bit more stuffing too. Chronic overstuffer for my food and my crochet projects. Okay. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. And let's seam up. Back loop, front loop. Oh, Lord. Now this yarn's getting tired of being frogged and reused. I feel ya. I need you to straighten up. Okay. Still trying to pooch out on me. That's very aggravating to crochet around it, but it works. You just have to be patient. Might be better to sew your base onto your plastic thing before crocheting it together like this. Then your plastic thing would be stuck still in one spot instead of being unruly. Could easily sew on your base to the square or circle because of the holes. So it would be very easy to do. Just one extra step that I don't want to do. The fewer the steps, the faster the project. Also, these would be much faster once we got the hang of it and we knew what we were doing. Yay, Deborah. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for showing up. Ugh, okay. Almost done. And then we'll give it some shaping and I think we'll be good to go. Now is the good time to grab the Show Up Live bonus if you haven't already, because we are about to end this bad boy. craftyconcept.com/twinkle. If you scroll up a little bit in the comments, you will be able to click on it, hopefully. Okay. Tomorrow is our very last day of Crochetmas 2024. Ugh. For that last one, I'm just going under both loops of both stitches. And I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna join into the top of my first one-ish. This doesn't really matter, just somewhere. If I could get it all the way through. Get in there. Making me sweaty. I think maybe that tail's in my way. I can't tell. I need a sharper hook. Get in there. Now it's just the spat. Ugh. Okay. That did not want to go. I watch me be stuck in there forever. And this tree has a crochet hook charm. I'm going to tie off. Maybe. There we go. In there. And the yarn. And then let's give this guy some shaping. This was going to go just right in there. I'm going to hide it. Okay. Okay. I don't hate it. Oh, I don't hate it at all. I wonder if I could, hang on, close your eyes. I'm going to change this and I don't want you to get car sick. So I'm going to do that. Ready? Actually, I'm going to come down first and then I'm going to go up because I don't want you to see yourself because then that would be miserable. Seeing 600 million infinite. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. I know the lighting isn't great. It's not set up for this angle, but I'm trying to help you get a better idea of what it looks like. Very cute. Oh, I love it. A little pink Christmas tree. Okay, so the base is a little wonky with that plastic piece. I think our best bet would be to shift one. I think our best bet would be to use cardboard or sew it on before we try to assemble them together. So the base stays, so the plastic piece stays with the base. Yeah, that one's, I'm not going to sew on my tails yet because I'm going to have to fix it off camera. But now we know what not to do, which can be just as important. It's creating a little bit of a lip, like a pocket almost, which that could be the way it was joined together. But this one was joined like that too, and it's not doing that at all. It's a perfect little flush situation. I'll let you guys know on Instagram if I find a different way. And then, of course, if we ever publish this pattern, it will be pristine to the best of my ability. But for now, it's a Crochetmas exclusive. And we got these little Christmas trees. It's so cute. Okay, let me show you my little bowl of trinkets, and then we'll call it a day. So I was trying to like brainstorm different ways that we could decorate these trees very easily. I can't show it to you and be at the same time. Okay, bear with me. So we could just make little bows, right? Can never go wrong with a little bow. Put a little bow on it. What is that called? This is a C word that means bow. I can't remember. It's a type of style. Speaking of bows, look how cute these are. These are little beads. I can show you from this side. Let me show you from this side. Look, these are from Ava has a set of beads, like all kinds of funky ones. Look how cute that would be if you had a bunch of them on the tree. So cute. And here's this one. You wanted to see that one again. Oh, it's so precious. I'm obsessed with these. I want 100 of them. You could use ribbon. Maybe not red against your hot pink tree, but you get the idea, right? We could use ribbon. You could use store-bought bows. All the bows. So cute. You could use a beaded garland situation. This is from Hobby Lobby. You would obviously want it to be colors that coordinated with your tree. Or we could use this guy, which is like fairy lights. That could be very cute. Let's see. Let's just... And then we'd just wrap it around. And then when we turn them on, it'd be magic. You could sew on like pearl beads. You could glue on like rhinestones. Could do anything your heart desires. You could, somebody on Instagram showed, they made one already from the inspiration in the hat video. And she attached some fuzzy yarn that looked like snow. Very pretty. Okay, let me turn these puppies on and see how they look. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's so cute. Well, we missed this row. You would want to secure them, obviously. I'm just trying to do this for getting an idea. Look how cute that is on your shelf in your craft room or to sell in your shop. Precious. It looks better in person. Maybe it would look better in daylight also, because all these lights everywhere, crazy. But they are super cute and super fun and pretty easy once you get the hang of it. I know the base creating was a little bit of a hassle, but we would be able to perfect it no problem. Just another couple of minutes and I would have it figured out. If you don't mind the bigger base situation down here, that might have something to do with it too. I don't know. But if I figure anything out, I will be sure to share in my Instagram stories for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, yes. Love those vibes, Lisa. Hi, Sarah. Just in time. Could you put cardboard with the plastic grid? You could. I don't know why you would need both. unless you're just trying to protect your cardboard with the plastic grid. Ideally, if the plastic grid doesn't work on its own, I'm not going to be buying it when I could use free cardboard that I get from my Amazon packages all day long. craftyconcept.com/twinkle to grab the ad-free PDF. That is the Crochet Addie Bear. Lovey. That's the free PDF that you get for showing up live tonight with me. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be going live for the last time, day 10 of Crochetmas, making the easy peasy lemon squeezy headband. It's just a thick headband ear warmer made with a lemon peel stitch. They work up so fast, probably under 30 minutes if I wasn't trying to film it and talk and answer, like, type comments and all that good stuff while I'm filming. You could probably make them in under 30 minutes, especially if you're going for smaller sizes. I'm thinking about making the toddler size that I can send to my friend in the mail. Baby Addie's birthday was yesterday. She's 2 now, my sweet girl. Oh, fantastic. You guys are so kind. Thank you for all of your sweet words. If you are not on the Crochetmas VIP list, tomorrow is the very last day to get one of those emails that include the free fun goodness. Tomorrow's freebie is probably headband product tags, if I could remember off the top of my head. So product tags to go with the easy peasy lemon squeezy headbands. You can sign up at craftyconcept.com/Crochetmas. And then tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the emails are sent out. And that is the end of it. Tomorrow's live is our last time together. Keep sharing your finished makes on Instagram with the hashtag Crochetmas2024. I love seeing them. I'm trying to share all of the ones that I happen to see, so everybody else can see all of the fun Crochetmas stuff we've got going on over here as well. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening and then a great day tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow night. Talk very soon.